The major scale, known to sound happy, consists of a pattern of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So 2 wholes, 1 half, 3 wholes, 1 half. And basically whole means you're going to go 2 steps, otherwise known as 2 semitones. So you're going to go 1, so let's start in A. You're going to go after the A, and that's where you're going to start your number. So we're on A, 1, 2, B. That's a whole. If we're going to also go a whole from B, we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to on C sharp. So it does not matter if we have sharps or if we don't have sharps. It's still at 1 step, 1 step. So we're going to go up those 2 steps. So as you could probably tell, a half step is 1 step, or 1 semitone, in other words. So if we again start in the A, we go 1, A sharp. If we're on B, we go 1 to C. Okay? You see how it works? If we're on C sharp, we end up on D. Okay? So let's do an example. Let's say we want to do the major scale of C. Okay? So we're going to write out this. The 2 wholes, the 1 half, and then the 3 wholes, and the 1 half. And the more that you practice any of these things, the more that you see them, the more you hear them, write them down, whatever it is, after a while it'll just get stuck in your head and you won't forget it. So next, how we're going to lay this out is we're going to have our C kind of floating over here. Okay, it's not really going to be a part of it. But our next one and all of the other ones are going to be above the actual letter. The whole half. Okay. So we're going to start on C, which is floating over here. Then we need to go to a whole step. Okay? So that's 2. 1, 2. We end up on D. I'm going to start slow, and then I'm going to speed up a little more towards the end. You could always, fast forward or speed up the actual video in the settings. So we're now on D. We need to go up the whole step. So 1, 2, E. Okay, now we're on E. Now we're at the half step. So remember, there's just 1. So we go E, we go to F. Okay. So now we're on F. Whole step. 1, 2, G. We're at G. 1, 2, A. We're at A. 1, 2, B. And then again, now we're at the half. So we go 1 step. C. Okay. So we just started at C. And then we ended up on C again. Okay? And there were no sharps in there at all. And we ended on the same note that we started on. That's very important. Okay? So the reason there were no sharps in there is because that's how C is. That's why I started with it. I thought it'd be an easy first example. So the other ones are going to have sharps. So let's start in a different example now. Let's do a different example. Okay. So we're now going to draw the same pattern. 2 wholes and a half, 3 wholes and a half. Or actually, how I honestly remember it the best is just remembering whole, half, whole, half. And I kind of memorized this picture in my head. It's really simple. So, okay, so let's do D. Again, we're going to have the D floating over here. And then we're going to go a whole step. So, 1, 2, we're going to go to E. whole step, 1, 2, it's on F sharp. Then we're going to go a half step. So from F sharp, we're just going to go to G. From G, we're going to go a whole step, 1, 2, A. So from A, we're going to go up another whole step, B. B, we're going to go up another whole step, C sharp, and then C sharp, we're going to go up a half step, and look at that. Where did we end up? We ended up on the same number, same letter that we started on. So like I said, that's very important. If you end up on a completely different letter, you know you mess something up. If this is sharp, then you know you mess something up. Everything looks good. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next thing, but you can get any of these letters and you can apply this pattern to it. And then if you want to, you could always just look up online, let's say E major scale, and then you could do it yourself, look up the E major scale, and see if you got everything correct. It's just, it all follows the same pattern, the 2 holes, 1/2, 3 holes, 1/2.